This is the Business Chat Podcast. And welcome back to the Business Chat. I'm here with my guest, Marcos Rojas. He is the founder and CEO of DishQuo. He's my guest today on the Innovators series here on the Business Chat. How's it going, Marcos? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Drew. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Well, it's cool to meet you. Recently, you're the most recent guest I've met quickly, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to hop on. You have a really cool product, a service. It's a technology platform. It's health, nutrition focused. We're going to talk all about it. I got some notes here, and we'll talk about what we're drinking, what Marcos's platform does. DishQuo, guys, he's an innovator again in personal nutrition. And the innovation that they brought here is offering kind of a science-based meal plan partner sort of in an app. It delivers these healthy ingredients to your door. It's got a fancy integration with Instacart. So it's very, very cool stuff, quite innovative. But before we get into all of the things that it does, I just wanted to make sure that was in the front. What are you drinking today, Marcos? What'd you bring?
So I have some green tea from Buddha Teas.
Yeah, you do. All right. Excellent, excellent. Buddha Teas. I said before we hit record that my guests routinely make me look like the day drinker. But we're going to pretend like it's 6 p.m. No, it's quite late in the afternoon, actually, over here in the Detroit area. I brought Tilted Earth Midwest IPA by Arbor Brewing in Michigan. And so from your tea to your tea for my beer, cheers, man. Thanks for being on the show.
Cheers.
All right, here we go. Oh, that is a good one, though, I got to say. Arbor Brewing, check out Tilted Earth Midwest IPA. So, man, I said, at the outset of this that you've got this, you're an innovator in personal nutrition. Why don't you talk a little bit about, at the kind of the top of this conversation, if you do view this as how I described it, right? Personal nutrition and science-based meal planning, kind of give people the elevator pitch of what DishQuo is, what it does.
Yeah. So at DishQuo, what we're doing is pairing science and technology to redefine nutrition and convenience. We have engineered a nutrition program that helps build insulin sensitivity and reduce glucose levels instead of counting carbs or counting calories. We paired that with technology that in a few taps, you can get the ingredients delivered to your door. You just go into the app, answer a few simple questions, and we instantly generate a customized meal plan for you. So, yeah.
Man, it doesn't get more concise than that. This guy's been pitching. I can tell you've been pitching, man. That's great. Well, and again, because folks are seeing, if they're watching this video or looking you up, again, dishquo.com is DISH-QUO.com. What's the name, man? That was a couple people poked me before this, and they kind of see what I'm working on the team, and they go, where'd you come up with the name? What's that mean? What's DishQuo?
Right. So DishQuo really comes from dishes. Obviously, we're involved with nutrition and food, but breaking the status quo of what's been done before. So DishQuo, it kind of just evolved that way.
That's awesome. Breaking the DishQuo. I love it. Well, again, dude, thanks for being on. And as we kind of launch into what it does, and thanks again for sort of doing a better job than I did at teeing you up and what the platform's about is people like to get to know, who these guests are on the show. It's something we try to make a habit I do in my interview process here is who is Marcos Rojas? And while we're all fascinated by this innovation that you bring, it's equally as cool to understand who the innovator is. Did you fold shirts at the Gap and get the idea randomly, or did you graduate from MIT? Like, all because people are just like, who's this guy? And folks looking up Marcos right now on LinkedIn can see that that's all been linked in the episode notes. But for those that aren't looking at that, who are you, man? What's your background? What led you up to DishQuo?
Yeah. So I've always been entrepreneurial. Even as a kid, I used to sell candy, and I always knew that I wanted to create businesses that could have impacts on people's lives. So I'm also a real estate investor.
Oh, there it is.
So I've been a real estate investor for a while. I started with one property and ended up, I've been successful and sold and developed millions of dollars in properties. And I love real estate, but, I've always been passionate about health and nutrition myself in my own life. And I've had my own struggles, ups and downs. So as well as people in my family I've been able to see up close and personal, what poor nutrition could do to somebody's life. And there's so with DishQuo, I really wanted to set out to make a difference. I wanted to set out to create something that could be easier, and as well as be able to have more of an impact on health long term, as opposed to being kind of a short term solution. So
Gotcha.
That's how things kind of evolved, and here we are.
Man, that's great. And you mentioned before, and if you don't mind touching on, at least from a high level, that there's a personal element to this for you, like you kind of touched on, that your own health, and was this also something that came about as you started seeing healthy eating with yourself, with either diabetes or your weight, or something that you kind of overcame your own journey? Or was this more just, do you have like a weight trainer kind of CrossFit background? Maybe folks listening, like what's your maybe some more details on your personal story there, if you don't mind?
Yeah. So, in terms of my own fitness regimen, that's I go to the gym, I do my own routines, and I have, I've put together a whole bunch of routines. Sometimes I work out with friends. But yeah, in terms of my personal nutrition journey, I've tried a whole bunch of different things. So yeah, I've struggled with, health, energy, and being able to have the vitality to be able to do certain things. I've also, had fluctuations in weight and different things. I've never had any extreme health issues, thankfully, but I have that on my father's side. It runs in my family, so I've been fortunate enough not to have that, but yeah, I've been able to. I've seen that up close. So
sure, yeah, there was some personal drive. It's funny, more to think about it, I can't think of too many people, and for most folks, that's kind of what they're leaning on, is, say, in my family, XYZ runs on whatever side, or you yourself struggled with. Very few people go, no, there's nothing hereditary, everybody's amazing, my family, we're all a bunch of Olympians. You don't hear that. I think a lot of us, because it's so complex, right, with the hereditary genetic side of things. You look at, I'm a guy that works at a computer now, first time in my life now at 40. These last 3, 4, 5 years, I find myself more sedentary, frankly, than I want to be, and having to overcome those things. I'm having to make myself do stuff that used to come natural. And I love the DishQuo, like you said, breaking the status quo, breaking the DishQuo of what, is out there and known to be in the nutrition, exercise kind of diet world. You're talking about the food piece of it, and it's a technology piece. So very cool innovation, very timely. There's a lot of people in the market that have different things to say about this. Let's hear more about what you have to say. So what is kind of the key, just to drill right in, and we'll kind of pull back and talk about some more things, but what's the niche, if not for technical, for more of a, the deliverable, the habitual piece that you guys saw the market was lacking? What was the thing that you saw and went, man, there's nothing for this? What was that for you?
Yeah, again, it's about nutrition, really about real nutrition,
Real nutrition.
a lot of about a lot of the things, the substitutes, the things that I've been accustomed to seeing a lot, really just focuses on one specific thing: weight loss. So what people are and things have been evolving is that people are a lot more health conscious, and it's more than just weight loss. So what we've set out to do, and I set out to do with my team, dietitians on my team, and is to create something that can build long-term health, talking about, preventing and, long-term illnesses. And yeah, that's really always been our mission, is to really set out and build something that can really impact people's health long-term.
It's incredible, man. That's really cool. I like the passion that you've got, while you're a very reserved, stoic guy, that comes through in the conversations we've had before. And I can't imagine you haven't had, a hand in the marketing. I'm looking at your site and folks watching can see, and your core values I love. As a guy in marketing, I'm reading this, the defy expectations, right? We believe we can achieve greatness when we're committed. People first. Food isn't just about fuel. It's about identity and priorities. It's complex. We don't just reduce the number on scale. We aim to make ourselves lives better for the good. Simplify everything. Probably my favorite piece, right? The diet world has become way too complex and confusing. You guys are here to fix that, and then celebrate success. If the process isn't enjoyable, you're going to give up. And one of the other things it says, and I'm talking and I'm going to shut up in a minute, I want to hear what you have to say about this one. This one actually stood out the most, and that was at the top of that same page. It says the rise of extremes, right, in diet culture has really created an industry that's out of touch with, and then you said it again, with what nutrition really means. So if I'm asking you to repeat yourself, I apologize. I'm the host. You're in the hot seat, not me. But no, what is real nutrition? What does nutrition really mean, Marcos? Like, really, you can take a minute here and pull back and go, okay, here's what people think it is. Here's what you mean by the rise in diet culture. Because it's confusing. It's a mess. No one knows where to start. Go. What do you think it should be?
Yeah. My definition of nutrition is, nutrient-rich foods that builds long-term health. Your body needs specific things, nutrients, to be able to build long-term health, be able to fight disease, be able to function properly. That's what the core of nutrition really is. And that's what we really want to be able to provide. And, really getting at the heart of what really can help build that long term. So I think that what nutrition is not is just based on restriction or removing specific things. So that's what we're trying to kind of go against and really build something that is enjoyable along the way. So, and that's the biggest piece as well, making it convenient so people can, it's easy to and enjoyable for the entire journey.
So let's say young guy, gal, or otherwise is listening, right, and says, hey, I'm struggling with just being kind of lethargic. I'm tired all the time. I hear this all the time. That's why I'm plugging this in. I don't mean me, by the way. I'm tired all the time. I'm kidding. Well, exhaustion and, overweight, right? The stubborn kind of midsection that dudes are mostly complaining about, and exhaustion. And so they come, will DishQuo be this guided tour through, hey, if this is where you're struggling, this is what we guide you to eat. What does that first step look like when someone kind of creates an account and wants to engage in this technology, this platform you've developed, and you've guided kind of this process up to this point in the conversation? So now technically, what does that kind of look like for someone that logs in and is ready to take the first step? Is it kind of going to ask them about their body type and some of those things? Is it just, hey, do you like seafood or beef? Like, kind of give me some details on that, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So when you first log in, when you first come in, you pick your goal. So we have a couple different goals you can pick from, and then you go towards your taste preferences. We provide different things from, hey, gluten-free, vegan, all of those different things. So it customizes based on your taste preferences, and as well as, how many people are in your household. So you can account for everybody that's in your household. When the grocery list is created, it'll account for servings that are needed for that. Budget friendly. And lastly, just like you mentioned, we get some information about you more specifically to be able to really customize it to you.
That's really cool. That's neat. And I can see, your app on the App Store has got a, near 5-star rating. It looks like it's been in circulation for some time. How long has DishQuo been on the market? When did y'all launch, Marcos?
Yeah, so we launched earlier this year. And yeah, our feedback has been resoundingly positive.
Awesome.
And yeah.
Man, that's great. Yeah, and again, like I said, reading reviews, seeing what people have to say is encouraging. it feels good, doesn't it? You get something out on a good start, on the right leg, and you know that it's people are understanding what it is. Well, again, for folks listening that want to understand more about DishQuo, we're going to link dishquo.com. We've got Marcos's LinkedIn profile. I'll be able to reach out to him and connect and ask questions. Marcos, what else in just kind of the vein of what's going on? And you can comment on either one. There's really no format here again. But with DishQuo or you, what's kind of next? Is DishQuo kind of got new integration kind of in the roadmap? Are you allowed to say? Is there any like secrets? Like what's in the plan here for 2023 that people can be watching for?
Right. That's a great question. We have a lot of things in the, works.
Here it is.
So yeah, we haven't stopped. This is just the beginning. And this is the beginning of delivering convenience and delivering, the right nutrition. So there's some great things in the works, and, we're actually launching the crowdfunding campaign on WeFunder.
There we go. And you're going to send me that information so I can show people where to invest, right? You're going to...
Yeah.
You don't mind if we actually drive people your way too? Yeah, perfect. I'm teasing, man. We'll get all that stuff from you, and we're going to link all that, as we keep saying, as I keep mentioning in this interview. Man, how straightforward and nice was this conversation? You're a guy that's just like, let's disrupt the status quo on diet, on nutrition specifically, and I'm understanding more even in this interview than prior of what this really does. Congratulations, by the way. I know what it's like to get and watch an app launch on the App Store and to get that right, and the maddening working out of bugs and the technical side of it. Just a solid looking brand. It cannot be easy to be partnered with Instacart, Walmart, and be doing the things you're doing. And man, I'm a fan. I'm just stoked to see what you're doing. So thanks again for joining me on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for everything. And I'm glad to be here. And cheers.
Yep, a final cheers. All right, Marcos, take care. We'll look forward to good things from you soon. All right.